Hello everybody. I'm finally ready to show you my basic setup for my new A5 planner. I apologize for the glare. This is a metallic. It's a silvery metallic, though sometimes in certain lights it looks a little gold. And some of the hearts are metallic also. This is an A5 planner from Webster's Pages in conjunction with Fun Stamper's Journey. I resisted for years getting an A5 planner, and I thought, well, it's a little big to go in my bag, though who am I kidding? My bag is huge. My bag is always huge. Even when I say I'm going to downsize, I end up with a huge bag. It just doesn't work to downsize for me. And I thought too small to really do a lot of writing. Plus, I have flashbacks from being in school with the ring binders and being a lefty. And so I just resisted it. But I started watching videos of other people's setups for A5 planners. I think one popped up, personal planners and A5 planners. And then I just got caught in a loop. You know how you do that when you get on YouTube. And I specifically was intrigued with how people set up their ring bound planners for the GTD, or the Getting Things Done system, which is David Allen's system. And it is a system that the gist of it is your brain is not for storage. Your brain is for creative ideas, working through problems. Your brain needs to be free to do that. You need to have a system to store things, retrieve things, work through things that is reliable and gets things out of your head, and you know you can find them later. I think that's why most of us keep things in our heads, is because we're just convinced we're going to write it someplace and it's going to go away. We'll never find it again. But you really need a system for finding these things, and that's what GTD, or Getting Things Done, is. And I really recommend you read the book if it's something you're interested in. There are lots of videos and synopsis and everything, but either get the Audible book, the physical book, the Kindle book, whatever you're going to do, the ebook, and take a look at it. I really do think it's a worthwhile system. You don't have to be a CEO of a big company to make this something that's worthwhile for you. I think it can work for everybody. So first of all, here's my A5. Webster's Pages, Fun Stamper's Journey, has the little snap closure. On the inside, you could make this a wallet. Right now I'm using a traveler's notebook / wallet that just has a monthly calendar in it and a few lists that I usually take with me. I may switch this later, I don't know. I have a few clips that I took out, but I just made these with a stamp, stamped it twice, laminated, hot glued them onto paper clips, and I don't know how much I'll use these, but they're more decorations because this is very white in here for me. This paper that I'm using is part of a Fun Stamper's Journey cardstock paper pack called Romantic Journey that I really loved, and I really specifically loved this print. I took some printable vellum and I wrote a couple of quotes, typed a couple of quotes on my computer. This one says, "Great things never come from comfort zones," and I backed it by that paper. And this one says, "A little progress each day adds up to big results." I really like those sayings. So there we go. Here's this paper again, and here's the other side of it. So pretty. Anyway, the first section I have is an inbox, and this is my mental inbox, like a brain dump, where you get everything out of your brain and onto paper. And I might have a little notebook next to my bed, different things, but it needs to come here at some point. I also have a physical inbox where mail that comes in, papers, that I, from around the house, shove them in there, and then once a week you process them. So I haven't done my first processing. I've done a mini processing to get this set up, but to do the full scale of all the piles I had in my craft room / office, it's going to be quite an undertaking and take me an entire day. So, but I will get that done. So here's my inbox, and these are just the things I've jotted down as they've come to me. This is just lined paper cut to size for the A5. What do you do with these after you have everything that you're processing in your inbox? There are different ways to process this, and one of them is to put in a next action list. This is my next action, and I've split it up by categories: home, office / craft room. Let's see here. Errands, things I will do when I'm out of the house. And David Allen recommends doing it this way. Like, what things do you need to get done when you're gone from the house? What things do you need to get done when you're sitting in your office and what things do you need to get done when you have your phone in your hand, when you're at your computer? And I made computer separate, though it could have gone with office. But these are, get your email to your email inbox to zero. That's something I'm going to process weekly too. Wish me luck on that. I have a miscellaneous one, though I don't think that's recommended. Hopefully I won't need it very often. One for my husband, things I want to do for my husband, with my husband, things I want to remember to tell my husband, that kind of thing. I have one for my mom who lives with us, one for my kids, one for my grandkids. My kids are my children who are all adults. I know it's still calling them kids. And then my nephew who lives with us while he goes to college. So, and then my grandchildren, of course, different things I want to remember about them to do for them. And then another place you put your things that come out of your inbox are projects. I just made this little project sheet on my computer, and I'm not the best at that, so it's nothing fancy. This is a trip, Fun Stampers Journey trip I'm taking to Waco in September, and I have some other trips and things in here that I'm have project lists for. Covered this up because this is the hotel and the confirmation and everything where I'm staying. But this is my list of tasks for this. So I needed to book the hotel, pay for my ticket, book the rental car. I invited my friend Sharon to ride along. She's going to hang out at the hotel pool and be company for me on the trip because she likes road trips. I need to check for area events and activities Sharon and I can do when I'm not at the Fun Stampers Journey activity. Plan my outfits, purchase anything I need for the trip, pack my clothes, toiletries. So you can see I check this off as I'm going down. Also, each project has a file folder that's a support file folder for this. So the printouts of all of these items will be in that file folder. And when I'm getting ready to go on my trip, I just take the file folder and go. So, and then these are all my other projects. I do want to put in the front an index of my projects because there will be some projects that I'm not working on currently and they're future projects that I want to work on. So they will get sheets as they come up and they get worked on. This is something else David Allen recommends is a someday maybe list. So I have a category for that. As you're processing your inbox, there may be some things that they don't have a home quite yet. They're things like maybe planning a dream vacation, that kind of thing that they're not on your horizon for the next month or so, but you don't want to forget about this idea that you had. You want to keep it somewhere that you can refer back. Okay? Here is my monthly, weekly, daily planning section. And I have August. These papers are from a paper pack called Through the Year, and I'll show you how I got them to this size to make these little dividers. So this is my August. Isn't that paper beautiful for August? Love it. And I have a printable calendar that I just decorated. This came with the planner, and it is a little ruler, hard plastic ruler that says right now. Just put it where you need it, and it pops in and out. You don't need to open the rings for that. And these are the projects that I'm currently working on right now for each category: work, personal, home, family. So, and there might actually be another family one I need to get going for August, but I started with these daily pages, and I'm going to switch them up. So I'm not really going to share much about my daily planning yet because I haven't come up with the exact, though I know I'm going to do it on grid paper. I want to have a weekly and then one for each day, and I'm going to have a paper for my weekly review as I do it, any notes as I'm doing my weekly review. Okay, that's August. Here's the paper that's for September. And you get two 12 by 12 sheets of each print, and they're double-sided prints. So here's October, November, December, January. I love that these are sequins, like you'd use for cards and things, paper crafting. Love that. February, so pretty. And this is a stamp set too, which I love and need to get that one. It's on my next list. March, April, May, with the raindrops, so pretty. June, and July. And then this is just a piece of cardstock that I stamped those butterflies on, the little saying that comes with it, be your own kind of beautiful. I typed that on my printer, on my computer, and then I punched it because if you've ever used one of these ring bounds, you know that the last pages can get kind of crimped from sitting behind this ring here. So I put this here so that won't happen. And there's another secretarial pocket back here, and then this flap, and then there are two flaps for pins, and I just have a friction pin in there right now, which is my favorite thing to use in my planner. Then it comes with this little tag that says Be the Journey, which I think is so pretty, and of course it's got the Fun Stampers Journey logo stuff and the Webster pages established 1986 little stamp there. Okay, now let me show you some things that I really used when I set this up, and I think that anybody setting up, especially DIYing it, really needs. So first one is this steel rule die that made my dividers. I guess I should show you the dividers again. So these dividers right here are a little bigger than the pages. And in order to cut those, I had this steel rule die. And I hope you can see because it's black on black. But this is the exact shape with the holes already come cut out. And this is for an A5 planner. And then at the bottom, it had these 3 different tabs. And I chose the one that's the square and then the one that's this little shape right there, which is this shape that I used for my months. How that is. Okay, and you can see on the end it shows you what it cuts out. It cuts out the page or the divider and then this. And I didn't laminate my dividers yet, though I may go back and do them. But it just makes it so easy to just whip out these dividers so fast. And it can cut several pages at a time. I think I cut up to 3 of this really heavy cardstock, so which is really good. You do need a bigger die cut machine for this. My die cut machine is the Fun Stampers Journey Platinum Journey machine, and it has an 8.5 by 11 platform. And you really do need something bigger for these steel rule dies. You can't use the little machines. Okay, the other thing that I think you really should have if you're going to DIY a planner, or even if you're just putting extra pages in these things, not buying them pre-punched, is a punch of some kind. And I have the We Are Memory Keepers planner punch board. I loved using this. It made things so much easier. It comes with 5. I only use 3 at a time because I have the A5. So you punch the 3, then you flipped your page over and punch the other 3. And on the back, it has the list of each type of planner and you know what your paper size should be before you start cutting it, and then where you need to put your little punches. See, they move around where you need to put them each time. And you can see I need to empty out my my tray, but this opens up and you can empty out all those little holes that you punched. The other thing I really think you need is some kind of a label maker. I just have this little Dymo one, nothing fancy, but it works for me, and it does numbers and letters. Only cap. It really doesn't do a whole lot of other. It has the settings in a format. It may do more than I think, but that's all I use it for, is just to make these labels here. So I really think that comes in handy. The other thing that I think comes in handy when you're setting up a new planner of any kind, some kind of a perpetual planner. I have this one from long ago when I had an Erin Condren planner, and this comes with. And so it just has all of the birthdays, anniversaries, special events in your life. And I've kept this since then because every time I set up a new planner, I really need this little thing. It comes in handy. So that, and then the other thing I used a little bit as I was setting this up was my laminator, my computer and printer. But otherwise, I think I bought some printables off Etsy, and which didn't end up working out quite like I want. Fortunately, they were very inexpensive. But from now on, I don't know if I'll do that again, get printables off Etsy. I think I did just as well making some things myself on the computer or finding printables online. So I'm not sure. There are lots of wonderful Etsy shops. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to diss Etsy. But for me, setting up this A5 and printing everything myself, that's what I ended up using more, is just my own computer and printer and everything. So, okay, so that's how I have this set up. I will be following up with some other videos on when I do my first weekly review, how that goes. I'm going to link below, I don't know if I said that already, to a few people that I found very helpful in how to set up a planner to use the GTD, Getting Things Done. One of them does it in a personal, one of them does it in an A5, and one of them does it in a bullet journal. And so I'm going to link to those people or those specific videos below. But like I said, I think you'd really do well to read the book. I really do think you would get a lot out of it, no matter what your situation in life. If you're a stay-at-home mama, you still have a ton of stuff you need to organize. There are bills that need to be paid. There are kids' activities. Tons of stuff that you don't need to slip through the cracks, and I think it's a good system for everybody. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. and happy planning.